Now they fan out 3 wide as they get into 3.
Wow, those trucks are
trouble already. Austin Dillon in it, as well as Johnny Sauter. The 18 of Kyle Busch is also involved.
98. Oh, look at this truck. The 10.
Jennifer Jo Cobb also involved. A big accident getting into turn number 3.
Sponsor was on the side of that truck, and also he'd like to think.
Oh, Hornaday's in the wall. Hornaday into the wall in the backstretch. Now Ricky Carmichael also in the 4, spinning. The 51 of Eric Almirola caught up in this. There's Johnny Benson in the 95 trying to avoid.
What a job by Nelson Piquet Jr. too, Phil.
He's side by side with Skinner.
Oh, is he going to get a bump draft from Ricky Carmichael?
They get a bump draft from Ricky Carmichael, and it may turn him.
No, I think he had a flat.
I think he had a flat tire. I don't think Ricky Carmichael ever touched him.
No, it looked like that's what it was setting up to be, but Hornaday just veered to the right. I was going down the back straightaway the other day in my cup car and blew a left rear tire, and it just drove right to the infield. He might have blown a right rear tire, and it pulled him right into the outside wall. You know, so much.
Still in contention for this win.
Certainly.
Closing rate. So amazing. Oh, Mike Skinner gets wild. He gets into the outside wall, trying to keep it off the inside line. He goes into the outside wall. Jason White slows, and looks like there was no contact, but a very close call for him.
Gets Nelson, and then
up the track he goes, and
that is so wild.
At first it looked like maybe he was going to, some pretty significant contact to the inside wall. Looks like he was trying to get in line behind him, and then he couldn't get in line, and then they may have got hooked together or something.
It's like it ran him up the, he got sideways a little bit there, and it runs him up the hill, and he just loses control. And look, this is a game of inches sometimes. This case, it's a couple of feet, but darn, if he could have just missed it there, he had a lot more room to slide after that. That was weird looking, wasn't it?
Sure was. Tough break for Mario, though. Had a great run going on the heels of a great 6th place run at Talladega.
Check it out here. If he could just not hit there.
Whoa, and that thing hit hard, too.
Did.
Head on.
Luckily, everybody did a good job of getting her locked down and keeping it from coming way up in the road. It's like it's more of the bump drafting.
Going to be some more bump drafting. Is it Nelson Piquet Jr.?
Nelson Piquet Jr. in the number 1.
Wow. I just wish these guys had the advantage of.
It's going to win at Daytona.
Oh,
they crashed behind him. Todd Bodine crossed the stripe in 2nd, got sideways, and now Johnny Benson is in him.
Wow.
What a great job by Timothy Peters.
Timothy Peters took 3 times in those 3 laps.
Oh, that's sideways. That's going to be a crash.
Crafted into the 30 of Todd
Hang on to her, Todd.
Look at Bodine trying to keep it off the wall.
Hold the brake. Got him coming at you.
The caution has come out. Todd Bodine, what an amazing save.
Yeah, got him. Your chase is still inside.
You heard it. You heard something pop.
You know, when you have
a 2 more.
Really board right there. Rick's running.
Oh, look at there, contact.
And they're in
Crash.
the wall right in front of Rick Crawford.
Clear to the bottom.
The 93 and the 7. The 7 of Justin Lofton and the 93 of Shane Sieg involved in this incident right in front of Rick Crawford.
All right, stay there. Stay there. Good job. Stay there. Stay there.
Sieg did what Matt Crafton did, Phil. He just got sideways and got up into Justin Lofton. He just couldn't get off of him.
Yeah, Justin was an innocent bystander. Look at right of your screen. The 89 truck was definitely the truck behind him. So
for coming on to pit road, here's a look at what happened.
That was Rick Crawford, the 14, right in front of our leader, Kevin Harvick.
I told you action would pick up when the leaders got to your back bumper, and that's exactly Crawford said. I got to go. Hits Clay Greenfield and spins them around.
Just slight contact, but that's all it takes
to get in that hole.
Keep an eye on that. See what happened to Britt Raymer. That was a situation going in turn 3. They were 3 wide. The same 89 truck of Chris Lafferty. Britt Raymer was in the middle, made a little contact, and around he went.
Take another look at this. The 60 of Narain. Karthikeyan comes in, gets into the back of that 95.
Oh, wow.
You know, Brian more than likely had already committed to the corner. He'd already committed. He drove. Now he's going to pull to the inside.
But he's not there. He doesn't need to try to swipe that spot, but that's exactly what he does.
Well, then he hits the curb. We talk about that when you hit the curb. It's going to bounce you out into the truck on the outside. Chris DeVota told us in the setup, if you hit that curb, trouble's going to ensue, and it certainly did for Ricky Carmichael.
You know, there's a point in time, if you're Ricky, where you got to give the guy more than enough room, because if he squeezes him down, you know he's going to. Oh, he gets loose down in the corner a little bit, and there goes Austin Dillon up on the curb.
And they just seize everybody up.
Oh, and it cut Brett's left rear tire. You can see the left rear flat. And then finally, folks just didn't have anywhere to go. Brett did what he needed to do to get to pit road.
Going to be a little contact right here. He leaves the bottom of the racetrack open and then comes down a little bit. A little contact from the 46 of Clay Greenfield. Was not able to get his truck refired to stay on the lead lap, unfortunately.
He was clearly running me over.
They're going to, there's the contact right there. Hornaday was able to get in the throttle a little bit before Johnny Sauter. And then after that happened, then the 5 ran in the back of Hornaday. But
Adversity for driver 4 this afternoon. The early portion of the second practice, you see he spins and hits the wall. He would have to go to a backup truck. The machine he has.
Check out how high he is.
Into the infield grass. That brings out our second caution of the night.
How'd you like to be sideways, 140 mile, 30 or 40 miles an hour heading for the grass? He does a nice job of not only saving
back behind this we're looking at right there.
See the 16 truck come down and hit in the rain?
Yeah, the rain was underneath the 16 truck.
16 truck had a tire go down, went flat, blew out, and he's almost spun, and the rain was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. Tony Jackson Jr., the 07.
Oh, gets loose.
Yeah, Jennifer Joe just got a little bit loose. Chris Eggleston came along with absolutely nowhere to go. Got caught up against the outside wall.
Chris was really looking forward to today's race. I talked to he and his teammate Jason White down in the garage, and they really felt good about their trucks. And that's sort of like in the rain. Same thing happened in the rain on the front straightaway. Chris Eggleston just didn't have anywhere. There's nothing he could do. Unavoidable contact.
The Amherstburg, Ontario native Terry Jones comes out of turn number 2, slides down the backstretch and into the infield of the backstretch. And that is our third caution of the race.
What a battle for the lead. Look at
he got loose. He's losing into the side of the 56, Taylor Molsom, and so Rick Crawford takes out the 56 as he gets loose, battling for the lead.
That's what we talked about, you know. Oh, watch out, guys.
Behind them, trying to thread the needle. A couple trucks very close.
The 6. There he is, left side of your screen. Looks like he may. I saw a little puff of smoke there. Oh, there's Matt Crafton tried to go between Carl Long and Jack Smith.
Yeah, Crafton.
That's what really caused this incident. I think what happened with the 90 truck was separate from this.
Well, it might have backed those guys up a little bit, but Crafton was down off the racetrack. He was on the apron, which is perfectly legal here at Kansas. You can run him, and she turns in on him.
Yeah, he's all the way down to the white line. I think you're exactly right. She did not know he was there. He almost saved it there, and right at the very last second, he ran out of racetrack and made some pretty good contact with the outside safer barrier.
Got on the brakes to keep from hitting the other truck. You see Butler sideways there in the corner. Let's watch for the 6 truck of Duenberger.
Yeah, we see it happen so many times when you have a truck on the inside. Watch Donnie now. He's coming off the corner now, the red and white truck. He saw that truck in front of him. He turned left to try to avoid that truck and then lost control.
Be a better view of it, hopefully up top. You can see Duenberger coming off the corner. He's closing fast on Jen Cobb, and he turns to keep from hitting her. And then around he goes.
As you mentioned, the banking of the straightaway is really what contributed to that, him being involved in this situation.
And man, that's a great picture there of what a safer barrier does.
David, I don't think realized he was there, and he got him squeezed up a little bit. That's what happened.
Jennifer Jo Cobb in the 10 was down at the bottom, and you had 2 guys racing for position. Neither wanted to give.
Yeah, we're 20 laps into this race. You know, discretion's a better part of valor right now.
Especially if you're Stacy Compton thinking, I wish these guys had worked this out on their own.
So we take a look.
Oh, yeah.
That's the wrong place to have that happen, too, man. He's just along for the ride. And these guys now have 50-some laps on tires. It'll be interesting when they pit for our pit reporters to get a look at these tires. Is there going to be right front issues? We didn't think so.
There's another shot of that safer barrier giving, too, because fortunately for Max, he was able to hit that safer barrier. We heard him say,
Looked like the 46 truck of Terry Jones gets sideways, and Skinner's just in a bind. He had to go up high to get around. He barely scrapes the outside wall, but did some damage to that left front corner as he got around the outside of Jones. I don't know if Mike maybe thought Terry
off the corner right side by side with Ricky Carmichael, just loses the front end of that truck.
Pushed up, and when he lost the front end, he had the wheels cut hard to the left, and when he bounced off Carmichael, it just spun him right around. Well, he drove away from that now, so he might be struggling, but he's doing it out.
Oh! Elliott Sadler into the outside wall with the right front tire down.
Right front tire goes down for Elliott Sadler.
Keep it up there.
he's faced with here on this last restart to try to win this sucker.
You see Johnny there, I think he felt like something was going on because we saw the 81 of David Starr pulling up underneath him. Johnny feels something there, still makes some pretty good contact with the outside wall, not as hard as some of the others we have seen, but the engine builders for that 88 truck as well as the 13.
Problems. Austin Dillon into the wall he goes. Right behind him was the 81 of David Starr.
Yeah, I think
down here. We cut or broke something, Danny, on the right front here, it looks like.
I think it looked like that maybe David Starr got in the back of him. He didn't have the momentum.
Try to get slowed down. Still coming in.
Yeah. Oh, the 15 of Nelson Piquet Jr. was on the inside. He got loose. He had to chase this truck up the hill, and when he did, he made contact with Wes Burton.
And the wall. Piquet got into the outside. Look at the job Mario Gosselin does. A great job getting to the bottom of the track. There's Brett Raymer. You're going to see Narain come slipping through here in a second.
Middle of your screen, that's Brett coming off of turn number 4. He just caught on fire, just simply caught on fire there. And it looks like it's inside the driver's compartment.
Wow.
Had to have a fuel line rupture or something like that, Michael. Had to be. Look at all the fire inside that cockpit.
And then he hit the wall on top of all that, Phil. That's just so scary. It's so good to see Brett Raymer jump out of that truck. You don't think that engine just hand grenaded, do you?
Well,
there was no smoke. There was just fire.
Why the fuel fire like that? That looked definitely like a fuel fire.
More than an oil fire.
More than an oil fire.
There was no smoke.
Yeah.
There was contact to the front of the truck, but after the fire broke out on this truck.
Looked like Brett did a smart thing. Like he tried to get the thing spun around backwards so that fire would blow away from him, but wound up hitting the wall a little bit, but walks away. You're right, Rick. We talked about that crash he had at Daytona. I've never seen anything any scarier than that. I mean, that was a terrible wreck. And then,
but this one,
we don't see these things normally, but tonight we're seeing all sorts of things.
You remember at Talladega that one time when someone stole the pace car right before the race?
And they made a blockade across the 4th turn to make him stop when they got him out of the truck.
Got him to clear the 56. Taylor Malsom.
Oh, he's sideways.
Donnie Leah sideways across the field and into the inside wall.
What a great day Donnie was having. Go from the bottom of the track right to the wall.
Yeah, top of your screen, you saw something definitely broke there. Looked like something maybe different than a flat tire, didn't it, Michael?
Certainly hard to tell, and the way that thing came to a rest over there, it's just.
I think he may have actually got into the inside wall as well.
It didn't come to a rest, did it? It came to an abrupt stop. He hit it hard on the inside wall as well, it looks like.
You see top of your screen.
Of course, he's not in control of the truck at this point. He's just going wherever it wants.
Probably didn't have any brakes at that. And there's the contact with the inside wall.
So that's the reason for our 4th caution. It's the Ford truck. Ricky, take another look at what just happened. Again, the 81 of David Starr involved.
Something broke. Or a tire went down on the right front of that Zachary Toyota. Matt Crafton came along with, ooh, look at Narain Karthikeyan barely get by there. Nice job by him to protect that great finish he has going.
Isn't that just the way it is some nights? Matt Crafton's had so much trouble tonight, and right there, there's nothing he could do. The truck inside of him had a problem with the right front. Looked like it might have blown a tire, and it just drove Crafton straight into the outside wall.
The top of your screen, that's the 90 of Brad Sweet. He gets together with the 84. He just passed another truck, and they got together with the 84. See, they're going to
look at that synchronized spinning.
Wow, we've seen that before.
It's an Olympic event, or
or a Kansas event.
Sideways, trying to get underneath Timothy Peters. Timothy up to the 3rd spot. Oh, got a crash. Nelson Piquet Jr. off 4, sliding through the infield grass.
The Qualcomm number 15 slides into the grass. The caution comes out. Looked as though contact was made with the 15, and
tire looks fine. Boom, there it goes flat.
And look how that thing almost turns dead right. It really goes straight, but as a driver, you feel like it turned right.
That's exactly right. You can see this thing just abruptly goes. That's their goal. They want to get all the pressure on those tires they can get. It's going to make it turn through the corner better. Sometimes you overload it with pressure. It makes it fast for a while, but it won't last.
This is what Matt Crafton saw when he was driving down in the corner. You see just up ahead.
Wow.
You know,
violent that is.
We talk about this being a short track, Michael, but the pole speed was 135 miles an hour. So yeah, there's Todd, the 30. Here's Donnie bouncing off the wall, and actually the 18 came across the left front corner of Todd's truck, so he was headed towards the outside wall while this happened.
But did Todd turn the 07?
Take another look.
Does Todd turn the 07 into the 18? Or the 8? Oh.
See, the 07, I think, got into the outside wall, and the 18 came across Todd's nose and turned himself into the outside wall.
I think the 07 was the
James Buescher in the 31.
Oh, he got a crash.
Ricky Carmichael around and backs it into the outside wall.
Looked like Mike Skinner.
Oh, and cars and trucks flying in there. That was the 6 that came in. That is Jeffrey Earnhardt that made contact after Carmichael came back down the racetrack.
Look at. Well, we've talked about how these trucks converge when they exit the turn. You can go really low in the turn. You can run high, but when you get on the straightaway, momentum brings you together, and it looks like maybe that was the case there.
Yeah, sure was. We're just right up off the corners where the initial contact came.
And something happened with the 60. Obviously, Narain is going backwards when we came to that shot.
Got a little bit loose down on the inside of Donnie Leah. And watch, Phil, they make contact. Leah hits the wall, is able to save that truck, and by doing so, he now becomes the Aaron's lucky dog. He went from crash to getting back on the lead lap in the same corner.
Did you see how quick, though, Donnie Leah turned that truck back to the left when his right rear corner hit the wall?
They went the right front tire of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Here you see him into the wall.
Yep, safer barrier there, caught him.
Thank goodness there's no safer barriers.
The advantage getting into the tunnel, and he does. And here comes little Dylan back there.
Oh, he gets into the 30. The 30 is sideways. Can he save it? Into the grass he goes, and the caution.
Oh, the brake. Got him coming at you.
Caution's not out yet.
We see the yellow on the top
There
of the
it
screen.
is, there it is.
out.
Yellow's out here. Yellow's out.
Here
He's
it
going
is.
to have to come to you with damage.
The side. They battle for
trouble.
Oh, turns around. That's
Did
the
it.
21 of Donnie Leah.
Big damage on that white truck back there. Truck's going down pit road. That's Hamlin.
Hamlin goes down pit road.
That was a 64 of Chase Mattioli that made contact with Donnie Leah.
Take a look. This is turn 3. Leah gets sideways.
He gets side. Look at Top Bodine just barely get by. Chase Mattioli with absolutely nowhere to go makes pretty significant contact.
Yeah, Leah came down right in front of Chase Mattioli in his 64 and just nailed him.
3 wide through the tunnel.
And Hornaday sideways in the tunnel turn.
All behind. You got it. You're
Nobody hits him as he slides into the grass, and he makes contact with the inside wall.
Caution out.
We will try it again.
It looks like Narain just lost the front of the truck. Maybe got a little bit loose. Anyway, had to chase it up the hill and made contact with Johanna. Nothing she could do about that.
Oh, that's a shame for her. Both those competitors, because Timothy Peters almost did. Yeah. He was really close to doing what Ryan Sieg did. The caution is going to fly. Was passing Armendia on the inside, and Armendia didn't know Mario was down there, crowded him down onto the apron, and Mario lost control of his truck and hard contact into that outside wall. Good thing to see Mario was able to hop out and show his emotion, because that was a bad crash.
Adam Alexander.
We'll find out who he got involved with.
Oh, he didn't have a very good throw.
But you're right above the front bumper. Here's a late. See Mario Goslin, the yellow number 12. There's Dennis Setzer.
Look, sneaking around here on the inside. Schrader's got her all slowed down. Jennifer Jo Cobb goes to the bottom and makes her way around. I can't.
There was some contact as they went in turn number 1 with somebody.
It started real early. They were almost up on the straightaway still, I believe.
Saw her on the inside.
There it is.
Yep.
Somebody gets into Dennis Setzer and just spins him around. The black truck spun Setzer around. Looks like Mario Goslin, some of those other trucks decided to make some.
Matt Crafton took a look to the inside of
trouble. And around goes Jason White. Can he keep it pointed the right direction? He stays in the gas. Now he's down on the apron.
He actually forced a 3 of Austin Dillon into the outside wall. They were racing together.
Back of the hook. You see him into the wall there.
Wow.
It had the looks of maybe a cut down right front tire.
Was that the whole I think there's more to this story. I think that he got into the wall there, maybe cut a tire, maybe got a fender in on a tire, and then wound up crashing into the wall. You can see there a lot of damage to the right front. So that was probably what caused, you see the brake rotors, the brake rotor falling apart, pieces coming off that truck. That was probably the reason why he hit the wall. There's the big hit.
Yeah. Remember, he was running with Kenny Schrader the first time around when he scrubbed it. And this is the same part of the racetrack, and it took a lap for that whatever fender brace or whatever it was.
Look at this in the back of your screen.
Yep. Look at the right side there. It looks like the right front tire went down for Donnie Leah. But again, we don't know if there may have been some contact with the outside wall that precipitated that.
We caught that earlier with T.J. Bell. We saw him scrub the right rear quarter panel, and it just turned him.
See, Mario just got loose getting down in the corner. Tries to keep it up against the wall, but he clips the right rear quarter of Ricky Carmichael's truck and turns Ricky just about head on into that wall.
And Ricky makes more contact with the inside wall.
Yeah, by this time he has no brakes. He probably broke it to the garage as well. You see.
Yep, just what we thought. He was down on the inside.
Brian Eichler. Remember, there's a little bit of history with those two drivers from maybe from last weekend.
Well, Eichler, in my opinion, didn't do anything wrong last weekend, and I don't think he did anything wrong there.
81 of David Starr making a little bit of damage to the back of that 7.
You can see he drives down into turn 3. The right front tire goes flat. It puts him into the outside wall. You know, he was second. This 18 truck was second in the owner's points this year. Just a handful of points off Todd Bodine for the lead. This will certainly hurt those chances.
Watch Brad now. He's going to basically spin out here. You see him get a little bit loose. He thought the thing would catch it, finally didn't. But watch it. Watch the rear tires. He lets off the brake and the truck turns and straightens right out.
But you could see how long that right front tire slid, Phil.
And this line, you see the 07 of Donnie Leah forces the 21 of Jake Crum into the outside wall. Then it turns Donnie sideways. Austin, with nowhere to go, makes contact. Look at Todd Bodine, our point leader, just get by the 3 of Austin Dillon.
Oh, and then Austin gets hit again.
That's Todd Bodine. He sees Johnny Sutter going, just gets in the back of her, coming off turn 4 and around she goes. She does a nice job. I think she absolutely missed the inside wall.
I know he's getting a lot of good advice. Oh, contact.
Around they go
into the 6.
Turn number 1. The 6 driven by Clay Greenfield.
Austin Dillon makes a little bit of contact with the left front of that truck now.
To run underneath of another truck. You can see his truck gets a little bit high off. There's the contact, and around he goes.
And that little touch was all it took to turn that nose of that truck to the left and spin him out.
All the way to the back anyway. If he waits a little while, it'll be basically the same, but he'll have fresher tires for later in the race. What do you think? He's already good. You could see there how Brent Raymer goes around. But what do you think about Skinner? Maybe.
See, there's Jennifer Jo Cobb. Now watch when she comes down the racetrack. James committed to the bottom. He was actually on the apron. And when she came down the racetrack, he had nowhere to go.
You know, you're going so fast here. He's entering that corner at over 100 miles an hour.
Out of the back of, is that Kyle Busch's?
Yeah,
he just had gone a lap down. Just got a little bit loose getting in the corner. Did a nice job not making any contact with anything.
Just about a half a straightaway ahead of these two. Oh, he's going to turn
into the wall. They're both 17 of Timothy Peters and the 2
south.
of Elliott Sadler.
Yeah, here.
Elliott Sadler looked to straighten it back out, but there is damage to the 17, and he is not happy with the 2 of Elliott Sadler.
Well, it looked like Elliott had just a true fit. They can't work it out side by side. Oh, inside. What a great
81
run.
of David Starr, and there's more contact. Ken Schrader gets into him. Dennis Setzer goes around. The 4 of Ricky Carmichael involved.
And remember the fuel situation. Now we're going to go overtime.
So this is the problem behind Kyle.
Kyle's coming off turn 4 to take the caution flag. There's a spin.
The 9 of Max Pappas, the 3 of Austin. They took the white. And
save fuel. We may try to go to the end. That would be a tall order. They last pitted at lap 81, and now we have problems. Top left of your screen. There's James Busher around.
The 3 got into the 31, the 31 into the wall, and so now it brings out our 4th caution of the night.
Let's see if we can see what happens.
He was at the back of about 4 trucks running together. You see he makes a little contact with the safer barrier in the left rear corner.
How did he spin out there? Wasn't he? That was awful early in the turn.
Maybe got a little loose going in, and then finally got away from him. Here, as we said, Kyle Busch was not going to give him that spot. When he drove around the outside of him, it just pulled it back and around. Something flew off of Todd's truck. You think maybe it was one of the Romeo windows?
There's the triangular windows just behind the cab of the truck.
He was racing pretty hard with, looked like John Jackson maybe in the 72 truck. Don't know if there was any contact. Carl does a nice job of keeping that truck out of the inside wall.
Locked it down. This is Jeffrey Earnhardt's view.
Tires for the rest of the race. Oh, he just got sliding up the hill and hit Stacy Compton. Did you see Stacy?
And Stacy saved that.
How did he save that?
I said, well, we're gonna lose him out of our
trying to do again. Oh, no, actually he's up on the high side that time through.
It looked like he was by himself. There could have been some contact prior to us getting a view of him.
James Busher was running third, by the way.
Now, this was some congestions. John King was pulling out of his pit. Peyton Sellers was trying to get into his. And Stacy Compton was saying, I wish you guys would work that out somewhere else.
The tire changer, when the tire he took off was knocked away, he never even stopped. He just continued to finish changing that right front tire.
Adam Alexander.
Rick, you guys
15th when this happened.
Look, he's all the way off the track down on the apron. Totally off the track on the apron, just trying to get that truck to turn, getting some bite down there so he can make that pass, and took David's rhythm away. And then Donnie just had a run on the inside, got loose sideways, and bumped his way into David Starr. Down on the bottom of another truck. Looks like maybe got loose as he tried to work underneath the, Harmon spun out. Hornaday was in that end of the racetrack.
Contact!
Trouble.
Contact once again, and now around goes Hornaday. Oh, unfortunate for the 31 of Busher. He'll have to go through another restart.
He has a broken left front brake rotor. Probably going to have a difficult time. You see, he has rear brakes. They have dual master cylinders. He had rear brakes but no front brakes, and that's what happens when you have to try
down the side of the truck, but he's driving away with the win.
Wrecking behind him is the 81 of David Starr. That will bring out
no caution.
Just the checkered so far.
See, Jeffrey Earnhardt's already spun down off the racetrack. Now he slides back up. It looked like Narain, watch Rick Crawford now, just barely miss the 47 of Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Now watch Earnhardt turn hard left, and that made some trucks that were getting there really late have to getting on their nerves a little bit. He put these two in this position. Watch Mike gets sideways and saves it, but then Johnny just doesn't let him go.
And right here, he goes airborne.
Oh, that looked like Kyle Busch qualifying one day, remember?
Yes. So a lot of damage to the front end of the 5. We see it once again. 13 in the 5 coming off of turn 4.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, look at the damage to that truck, too.
Lucky he didn't bounce back out in the middle of all that traffic.
Racing with David Mayhew.
Well, he slides up in front of David, in fact, all the way up to the wall. And you're right, Phil. The reason why he wrecked the second time was that right there. Put that right front fender down on that tire, and it just blew out.
Yeah, he rode around for another half, 3/4 of a lap, and then the other end of the racetrack are actually going in turn number 3. Watch this now. You see the tire goes down. Nothing he could do at that point. That was hard enough contact on that first incident, Michael, that I think he probably should have been directed to pit road.
Immediately, we saw.
To hang on for a good finish.
Oh, trouble. And we got problems. Jeffrey Earnhardt slides. He had contact, slides in front of a few trucks.
Takes him in the wall with him.
He got Justin Lofton with him in the 7. They go into the wall, and the caution flag comes out on lap 23.
They caught up to a pack that was not running on the lead, that was actually getting lapped.
Earnhardt goes into a hole. Oh, man, he and Max just made some contact. And you see Justin Lofton absolutely nowhere to go.
Looked like Max forced him down into the 93 of Mike Garvey.
More contact. We're going to have problems coming onto pit road. Max Pappas sliding sideways. He gets into the inside wall.
2 laps in a row, Michael. We can't manage to come down pit road.
I just don't understand it.
A lot of damage to the front of the 9 truck of Max Pappas. His day is done. Fluid running out from underneath that. Jennifer Jo Cobb
win here last year. Kyle Busch was in the truck he's driving. Oh, there they go.
Hornaday goes around. Narain Karthikeyan almost upside down, and he does go on his hood as Ron Hornaday.
There just wasn't any way.
Hornaday rolls again in turn number 1.
What caused this to start?
Looked like the Todd got pushed by the 95 of Grant Enfinger, and it turned him into the truck on the inside of him. And then you see Ron Hornaday going upside down.
Grant was just doing what he saw there. Ooh, wow, look at that hit late by Todd. Grant was just doing what he'd seen everyone else do. A rookie at this. First start.
Watch the red truck. He's going to push Todd Bodine, and it's going to turn Todd sideways right there into the 5 of Mike Skinner. Mike gets into the 33 of Hornaday.
Just too big of a push. Look at the job that Matt Crafton does, sneaking around the outside.
And when these trucks get backwards, obviously we talked earlier about the spoiler being at 65 degrees. When they go backwards, it lifts that back into that truck of Hornaday up, and onto its top it goes.
Plus, he was not only backwards, he's getting pushed by Mike Skinner, too, so I'm sure that helped ramp that truck up in the air. But as you see the trucks going out of the screen to the left, all those guys are getting
competitor, but good friend Todd Bodine. This is the big one. Just after they cross the stripe, multiple trucks involved, and Hornaday on his roof. Almirola still scored as your race leader under red flag conditions.
with Ricky Carmichael. And then the thing just gets away from her. She probably didn't know. She doesn't have a whole lot of experience. Looks like she's still trying to be on the gas right there. She probably didn't realize that tire was flat, Phil.
Yeah.
You know, she comes from short track, late model racing and has only done this a few times. And she just knew she was loose. She just didn't know why. And then that tire finally blew out.
As Ray was talking about, that he had a problem with the right front. And there, that when that right front goes, he didn't make real hard contact with a wall, but that tire blowing out did all that damage.
Yeah, what about that explosion, that tire? It just blew the fenders off that truck. But you're right, Phil. They get a tire on it, get a fender glued back to the front, taped onto the front. He can keep racing this darn thing.
Yeah, you guys talked about that radio communication. Let's listen in to the conversation that took place between Austin and...
Oh, but you know, if I'm Kyle Busch, I'm looking up there and says, is that Valvoline truck right there in third that's coming up here?
Oh, problems back behind them. A couple trucks into the wall. Hornaday is involved in the 33. White truck, that's the 11 of Miguel Paludo that was involved. And now Hornaday gets into the side of the back of the 25 of Taylor Molson.
Down in turn number one, he's on the inside of the racetrack. He just starts to lose the back end, then corrects it. And then the second time the back end swings out. He does a nice job letting off the brake, trying to get the thing to go straight. Then he realizes that it's not going to go straight. And
he got contact.
Yeah, had a little help right there from behind. That might be Steve Park. Is that Steve Park in the 46 truck?
I couldn't tell, could you?
Lafferty grabs that commitment cone.
There's no
right at the entrance.
There's Ricky. He's on the inside of Brad Sweet. He tries to stay off Brad, and around he goes.
Oh.
Actually, both of those trucks made a little more damage than maybe I thought initially.
Yeah, it wasn't. Malsom couldn't see what Hessard could see. Hessard got on the brakes, and Taylor wasn't able to react quite as quickly. But trouble.
Maybe a little aggressive, getting into that turn. Looked like she might have had a brake issue, because I think she was into that corner harder than she had seemed to be going in that corner before. She may have had some. See him get loose, and he has to chase that truck up the hill to chase it, and makes contact with that left rear corner of Hornaday. Nothing Ron could do, and certainly wasn't intentional. Austin just got a little bit loose down there. Watch.
Caution. This is our first look of Brad Sweet going sideways.
What that means, Rick, is these guys a lot of them are that close to out of control every lap. That didn't look anything much unlike any other lap. You know, he just got in there, got a little bit sideways, and away it went. Cut a right front tire, see if we could, yeah, there it goes. You can see he's off the gas, dragging the front end.
Yeah, I got to believe, Michael, there might have been some contact somewhere between he and another truck to cut that right front down. Being that quickly after they've been in the pits.
He had some scuffs on that right, or scuffed sheet metal on that right side, so you might be right.
I think he may have got into the wall at an earlier point. Obviously didn't. Watch there. There's the 18 of Kyle Busch. He stays way up close to the wall, then the right front tire goes down.
Yeah.
That's the good news, is he was already so close to the outside wall, he couldn't get any momentum to hit it.
I think he was expecting that, Phil. I think he knew he had a serious tire rub. And
we are under this red flag condition.
Watch this thing hit the end of that wall.
Oh, what a great move.
Boom.
Ooh. Who's the truck?
Man, that was a hard lick.
Hard hit on the right front of the 72.
Look how far those barrels scattered.
But you know, and rightfully so. Good truck right around him. Ooh,
Elliott's going to go sideways.
He lost it.
Elliott running in the sixth position brings the caution out with just 8 to go.
That's